let's talk about why you can't outtrain a bad diet and the simple ways to get started now that don't require counting calories or freaking out about how many steps you got that day. Hey guys, welcome back to 5nothing100nothing.com. I am Fugit, and that stands for the fittest underdog guru using intelligent tactics. Don't say fug it to your diet or to exercise. Say, okay, I'm all ears. Thank you. All right. So guys, let's look at some facts here, okay? Burpees, jump lunges, things that are very intense, maybe like battling ropes or sprints, whatnot, right? They're not exercises that are designed to be done for like more than a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes if you've got unbelievable endurance, right? You could maybe do those for 30 seconds, a minute, whatnot, and then you're gassed, right? You're recovering. Because the quality of exercise is going to dissipate because you can't keep up that kind of intensity for very long. Now, if you look at what the calorie burn for something like that is, you're looking at somewhere, depending on your size, your age, etc., somewhere around 12 to 15 calories a minute, okay? Now, pound of fat is about 3,500 or more calories burned. So if you look at total exercise required to burn a pound of fat and how long that would take you versus cutting back on calories, you could see why it's a lot easier to cut back on your calories than it is to continue to exercise, because with more and more exercise, one, you will not have a social life or a job because you will live to train. I mean, you're not Michael Phelps training for the Olympics, where he might be one of the only exceptions, and those that are genetically blessed, that are able to eat what they want and, still have a six-pack. And I would even argue that if Michael Phelps had not been an Olympian, he probably would have been training all those hours a day, and if he was eating like he had been eating when he was training, and the same goes for cyclists, they would be very large, okay? And if nothing else, they'd be skinny fat. So the thing is that it's always the answer nobody wants to hear, is you've got to control your eating, you got to control your palate, your taste, your urges, because that's what's going to get you in trouble. And the one thing that I can tell you is that if you clean up your diet, it's not a matter of what you take away, it's what you add into your diet. So Dr. John Berardi said years ago, Dr. John Berardi of Precision Nutrition, excuse me, that if you use a diet in which you say, okay, I'm going to eat, I can eat chocolate, I can eat pizza, I can have fried chicken, whatever you want. But first, you need to follow some simple rules, like adding in 3 to 5 servings of vegetables a day, drinking 8+ glasses of water a day, having 3 to 5 sources of lean protein a day. Once you do those things first, then you can have whatever you want. And what happens is, once you start to nourish the body, then all of a sudden some of those hunger pangs, some of that release of ghrelin, the hormone, starts to dissipate, and your leptin takes over, the leptin hormone, which is a hormone of satiety or fullness, because your body is not looking for calories, it's looking for nutrition. So once you start adding in a lot of the right things and take off the restriction and deprivation feeling and mindset of I can't have this anymore, you're going to find that weight loss starts to come easier and easier, because one, protein, healthy fats, nourishing food, and being hydrated really helps keep your body in a positive nitrogen balance. It helps to control your blood sugar, and it helps to nourish your cells so that you're not craving more food. Because you're not craving food, you're craving nutrition. So think about it. If you had a mixed green salad with tuna or chicken breast on top, whoever overeats on that, right? Unless you're dousing it with croutons and dressing, that's another story, because you've just ruined it, basically, if your goal is fat loss. So, who's ever gorged on mixed green salads and can't stop eating it. No, it's things like a candy bar or chocolate or pizza, things that taste good to the tongue, to the palate, and aren't very nourishing. It's very easy to overeat on those things. So some simple ways to start. If you're not a calorie counter, you don't want to use an app, which I think are great, whether it's like a Weight Watcher system, whether it's some type of an app that you log in your calories, because it's never been easier, but yet people still have a hard time doing it. So I'm going to play to the average, everyday folks here. And the simple way to start is reduction, okay? If you simply reduce the amount of calories you're eating now, whatever that is, and you don't have to count it, just how much you normally eat. You know how much you usually put on your plate. You know if you're snacking or not. So if you eliminate or reduce alcohol, sweets, right? Anything that's sugary, a pastry, ice cream, things like that. I'm not saying eliminate it right away. I'm saying reduce it, cut it in half. If you normally have 2 glasses of wine, have 1. If you normally have a bowl of ice cream, have a cup of ice cream. You can use a substitute like going to a frozen yogurt from regular ice cream. That'll save you some calories. But again, you're moving in the direction, okay? You're trending the other way. You're not looking to completely eliminate things, especially if you haven't added in the nourishing foods. It's going to be a lot harder because a lot of times people will just go with diet foods or skipping meals, but never get to the source of what the problem is. The problem is nourishment, okay? You reduce the amount of bread you're eating, or you move up to a higher quality whole grain bread. That's going to help you as well, because all that extra fiber is going to be more filling, right? And then, of course, a really hard one is dropping the processed food. Anything that's processed, that comes in a box, that you get fast food, those things are going to be working against you because they're going to be stimulating those hunger hormones. They taste very good. They're high fat, high sugar, or high salt, or a combination of all. And those are the things that are going to set you back as far as your efforts are concerned. So if you just start by eating a little bit less, maybe even trying the small plate trick. Instead of getting a big dinner plate for your meals, just get a small plate, and what fits on there comfortably or proportionately would be your meal. You do those little things and you shrink the stomach as far as what your body is used to tolerating at each meal time. So guys, remember, exercise, it's good. It has a ton of benefits. I know a lot of times these short news stories kind of demonize exercise. Oh, it doesn't help with weight loss. Well, it helps with a lot of things in the body. It assists with weight loss when you have other things under control as well. Like, share, subscribe. We got a lot more to say on this topic. Hope you guys are well. Take care.